Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another day here with Kick. We are looking at my friend's base here, PepAronie. Pep is a good friend of mine, also streams here on Twitch. He hasn't done any YouTube videos or anything like that yet, but we're gonna do something a little bit different today than we've done in the past. We're going to actually help him create a fort plan. So Pep is in a little bit of a funky situation where that actually happens a lot, where he's a little behind on his tower levels, and he is right before that 300 wall to where he can kind of go crazy and build up a whole bunch. The other problem that he's in, which also happens a lot, is he's missing his breeding eggs. So he's missing obsidian eggs to take these up to 60, which is ideal. So we wanted to, I offered to help him create a plan to where we could focus a little bit more on these towers back here and set him up going into 300 while not just completely wasting this event. It basically puts off him getting his kill island to 60 for this fort, but then he can catch up once he gets Astros where he is. So if we hop over here, take a look. This is why he's not able to take those towers up to 60 just yet. He just got Ryo, and he's working on Hedron, and he won't get obsidian eggs till Astral. So, pretty common scenario. It tends to happen a lot where people get caught up, right? They're able to build faster than they are able to get those eggs and get tokens for the dragons to get those eggs. And this is where Pep is. And so we want to try and maximize his value from this fort without without going too crazy, and just leveling up his back kill island a whole bunch, but also be smart and realize that he's coming close to that 300 wall, or the 300 mark, to where you can just start building a whole bunch and it doesn't matter as much. So let's hop into it. We are basically creating, I have just copied over from my fort planner. You can go find this if you go to the forums and search Mech's Vault. You can find the link to this is Mech's Fort Planner. You can find the link to it there. So let's go ahead and start putting in the details for Pep's base. Now Pep right now is level 274. All right, and that's going to adjust that, and we're gonna skip this part for the moment. Hop down to his actual towers here. So his perch is at 46. His dark flak is at 56. So his entire kill is 56. So he does not have a fire. Instead, he's using a storm. So again, this was set up for my base. Where is the storm? So that's also a 56. The ice is 56. Red. Okay, cool. Thank you. I don't need clarification on the validation. And then we have a red mage in the back. Fire turret. Fire turret. Ice turret. Zap. AKA Electroflak. Then an actual fire flak. Okay, cool. Lastly, I'm gonna do the setup for his farms, and typically I like to keep them just all separate from each other. So 1 mill, 2 mills, the third, and the fourth. Or, well, yeah, anyway. And those are all 60. And the reason why I don't like doubling up is that every once in a while you end up just taking up one to hit as high as you need to, and not the others. And so I like having them individual. Okay, and his main island. Let's take a look at his main island. Dragon's Den is, here, let's do this. Dragon's Den is 54. Forge is 7. Builder's Hut is 33. Breeding Castle is probably 11. Yep. Incubator is probably also 11. Yes. All right. Oh, and storage. Let's make sure we get the storage. We can throw in his research hall, I guess, too, but it doesn't really matter. 84. His storage is 84. Okay. All right. So now we come back up to here, and we're going to actually start filling this out. So his turrets, his flax, I'm going to just go with the max, the ones that are max on his kill island. We'll leave that at 0. Farms and mills, we're at 60. His storage is 84. His den was 54. His breeding castle was 11. Incubator was 11. Builder's hut was 33. That's what I was thinking of. It's 30. Okay. And so this is where we answer the questions. Does he have the obsidian eggs? And the answer, unfortunately, is no. Understandably, but unfortunately. So, oh, and I'm sorry. So his flax were 56. I was thinking 60. Those were 56, yeah. Which is why he can't. And we typed in the wrong number for his storage. So his storage is maxed as well right now. Okay, so why is it saying that? Oh, it's just giving us. Why is it saying that he's? Do we have anything strange? Okay, well, that's fine. We'll leave that. So we basically have the amounts filled out right now. I'll let Pep come in and fill out what he needs to. I can't look at his research or anything like that. All this will impact is once he fills out the speed ups, this is going to impact how much time it says he's, like the calculation says that he has remaining. Okay, so the other thing that we need to think about is Pep's main dragon right now is Pathox. And Pathox is right now, because his den is at 54, he's capped at probably level 34 here. So he needs to at least get up to 280 to take Pathox up another level, and possibly 295 to go up 2 more levels with Pathox. And that's really, once you hit over 250, I really started focusing on making sure that my main dragons were as high level as possible, not uncapped, but as high level as I could possibly get them. And that is kind of what I wanted to help him focus down today, so that he didn't lose dragon power and just sitting around kind of only doing main base stuff, and knowing that he was this close to 300. So let's hop into it. So the first thing is we can't do anything on these. We need to pop these numbers in real fast. Fire is 32. Ice is 41. Zap is 20. And his Electro is 32. Okay. Now the problem is, so Pep, I asked him how many embers he has. He has 65k embers right now. So let's just take a look here real fast. If we were to go up to 58, let's say, that's going to be 4k embers, 5k embers. And then, so he's only supporting 2. So that means we might be able to, with 65, we might be able to take up your fire flak a bit. I don't want to do both flaks because I just think that that's getting yourself into a little bit of trouble later on down the road. I always am concerned about supporting those flaks as time goes on. So that said, we know that, so these two, yeah, I mean, so even if you go up to 60s, Later on, you're going to have, that's going to be 20,000. 65s is what? That's the 30. That's a big one. But that's going to take a couple forts, most likely. Let's just assume that next goes up to 60, and that's going to be 20,000 for the two of them. So, all that said, I think we can help you take up your fire flak a little bit for the time being. But first, I think let's focus on, let's take up your red mage. Let's take up your fire flak to 35, 36 as that goes, another one, 37, 38. All right, let's pause there. Let's pause there for that fire flak. And then we can look at what that's doing for us. That's getting you up to level 70, level 79. The one other thing you do have on your base, I'm a little worried about just leveling up either the fire turret or the ice turret, because I would like to know, we haven't had a conversation about whether or not that's what you want to invest in kind of moving forward, as like a second kill essentially. And so if that's the case, if you want to invest in them and you want that to kind of be a good part of your next kill island, that's one thing. But it's a little tough, not having had that conversation, not wanting to assume that, and they're not the greatest. Like, one of them is good. I don't mind the fire turret. The fire turret can catch a hunter off guard and can sometimes land, and once it lands, it hits hard. But if it doesn't, it's kind of a waste, right? So I think you have these two other random towers, and I think we're gonna actually focus on them a little bit more, because they're gonna be more useful overall as time goes on. There's gonna be more likelihood that your base going forward is going to include them and not the fire turret or the ice turret, and definitely not both. I think it would be one or the other. And the zap, the zap is a great tower, but it's hard to want to focus on that one. So right now we have this storm at level 29, this blue at level 24. I'm assuming that those are your next highest towers. We haven't talked fully about that, so there might be some other choices, and we can talk about that in the offline. But for the sake of this video, we're gonna go ahead and treat those as your next two highest towers. And I would say we're probably gonna move that blue back to that kill island. I think it's important to have both mages on both towers. I think they are both important. And we're probably gonna end up retiring one of those other ones. So let's treat this blue mage. Let's say we're taking it up to 35. Where does that put us? 284. What did we say we needed to get to? At least 280, possibly 295. 280 is good. 280 is good. Where does that put us for the event scoring? That puts us almost at the 2 million mark, and we haven't even touched the main island yet. So let's take a look. Let's take a look here. 54 on the den. So the den would go up, be able to go up to 56 with that. We will want to make sure to do that. The builder's hut will not be going up, unfortunately. Breeding castle, incubator. So it really would just be the storage is the only other thing that's going up right now, to 85. And we wouldn't really even necessarily need to do that, because we're already at the 2 billion points, or 2 million points earned mark, and that's a pretty nice score for fort, especially a fort where you're taking it easy. And I don't think that this would end up hurting you. I don't believe that this would end up hurting you that much in the in the long term. We're focusing on leveling some pretty utility towers, pretty overall utility towers, and kind of beginning to look at what does that second kill look like for you. Next time, as you know, once you hit 300, which you'll do pretty easily in the future by just taking up these main towers, right? If we just were to go up to 60 on all these, combined with what we're doing, that puts you at 305. So just going up to 60s, 2 forts down the road, you'll end up hitting that. One thing I also Pep did tell me is that he only has 500 pearls right now, so we can't really look at supplementing or using the purchase at all, just because right now there's no pearls. So I think he leveled up the purchase a bunch last time, or some last time. So I think that this is overall the approach that I would take. I'm looking at going with some of these very utilitarian towers, and trying to use that to hit a goal, which is the 284 goal. Also puts us in that halfway mark, so we're not having to push up. You're not having to push up 26 levels to hit 300 in 2 events from now. We're still scoring pretty well, and eventually you're going to need to start addressing some of these anyway. This is how I would approach this fort for you. I hope this helps, Pep. I hope this gives you some general ideas, general advice for this fort, and to kind of approach it, knock it out, score some, and kind of set you up for the future. Once you get those obsidian eggs from Estral, you can take up these towers to 60, and then you can also begin to. So sorry, let me switch over to just your base real fast. You can take these up to 60, and then you can also begin to think about, what is this second kill island? What do I want that to be in the future? For me personally, I went to, as you've heard me talk about, I went to all lightnings. I love the long range. I love the speed of their attack. And so that's kind of been my second kill. I love that they only use lumber. I do have 3 flax on my main kill island though, so that kind of plays into it. All in all, those are the things that I would think about for yourself and for this fort going forward. I hope it helps, bro. Let me know if you have any questions. If any of you all are watching this, I hope it helped you just kind of see how I go through a fort plan for someone, specifically starting from the beginning. We'll do a couple others for some different people over time in preparation for this coming fort. And let me know if you need help with your fort plan as well. We are close to that time, so I may or may not be able to get to it this time, but we can always definitely look at it for next fort as well. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you later. Peace.